What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is August 11th. It is Monday morning. We got to see what this market looks like today. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? And there we are with the heat map. NVIDIA and Apple seem to be down. Thought Apple would keep some of that momentum right there, but it did pull back a little bit. We'll see if it stays in the top and bounces back up. If it does, it'll retrace a little bit back down there. And it is setting up, and they do all look like they're setting up. Look at the SPY. It was up a little this morning, up a little bit more now. And look at that bad boy getting set up. So it is an interesting setup right there. I don't know if it's going to cross through that MACD just yet. Going to keep in this channel, but I mean, holy cow, does that look good? So happy Monday, Jason Goshman and Luis Rodriguez, Doge Mama 9, and Laptop Travel, and Asian Joe Lee, and everybody else. How are we this morning? And let's take a look and see what's going on with our Joe Lee jumpers, and we'll cruise right through our SPY and big caps and everybody and see what's happening. AirNet right here, AirNet Technology. This had been running up the last few trading days, kind of flattening out right there. Let's see, ANTE, anti-AirNet, and that is just kind of, that might be pulling back right there. Let's look at AUUD. That was jumping up the other day. I do remember seeing that, and that's jumping up there. We just looked at this bad boy. Someone mentioned it the other day. Was it last Thursday night or something? I remember it moving. And here you go, AUUD looking pretty good right there. I forgot about that one. BJDX, the Blue Jay right there. Blue Jay Diagnostics. And let's see, that one's curled up and trying to fly off. Let's see how far the Blue Jay wants to fly. And there you go. It's flying up on Friday and looking pretty good this morning. Looks like it could continue its way up there. And BTAI, we've been watching that BioXL, and this thing had been running up. It's in the top, but just be careful at this point. But that was a great run up, BTAI. And there you go. It's just getting topped out there this morning, it appears. And GMHS, let's see, Game House Holding. And let's see what this one's doing. It's a China one, and it's a electronic gaming and multimedia or something. GMHS right here. I have seen this one before. It was running up there Friday, and we'll see what it can do today. It may just have that healthy pullback and try to run up, but that was a nice run up and pullback right there for Game House. And IXHL, we've definitely been watching this one, and I think it is going to try to get set back up. We're just watching it to see when it's ready right here, and it obviously tried to run up right there. It wasn't exactly ready, but it will get set up. It's just going to take its time right there. MRM, I know that was running up last week. And let's see, on Friday, that was jumping up into the top. And this morning, it had pulled back. It got up to 353. And right now, you're at 239 right there. It's not looking bad. So you can keep your eye on MRM. And let's look at NA right here, Nano Labs. That looks like it's going to be a good one right here. Good old NA. Keep an eye on that one, just curling up as a or going up as it curls up, but that's getting set up right there. That one's going to be a good one. NXTD, wait, NXTD. That's wait, what? NXDT. Let me put it in the right way. There we go. Next point, Diversified Real Estate Trust. Not even familiar with this. Nice pullback right there on Friday, it looks like. Let's see how that opens up, but that's getting set up. I think it just has a couple weeks to do it. And Wang and Lee is up like 50% this morning. There you go. And that had been looking good. And remember, I had mentioned Green Lane last night, guys. We looked at that one. That's up this morning like 7% right there. So if you're listening to the show last night, there you go with that bad boy. And there you are with your Joe Lee's jumpers. Thank you very much, Joe Lee, Asian Joe Lee, for them. And let's take a look at our laptop lowdowns real quick, SKBL. and see what these are up to real quick. Skyline Builder's still in that basement down there. We'll have to see what it does this week. And AIM is way down there as well. It recently ran up big, and now it's way down. So AIM is way down there. BIVI, BioVi, that is down as well. Look at that in the basement going to run. I know, what is it? What is the Mullen one? I thought it was BIMI, whatever. CMMB right there. Chemomab. What is it? Chemomab Therapeutics. Chemomab. And that might be bottoming out finally. We'll have to see. That could level down a little bit, so we'd have to watch that one. And let's see what that EDHL is doing, Everbright, because we have been looking at it. It is going to get set up, so that one I'll be watching. And GIPR right here is going to be in the basement for a hair, and that one will get set up, but that might take a little bit. KMRK right there, brand new. Let's see what they're up to. That's a K-Tech Solutions in Hong Kong Leisure, and they just opened up on July 16th, and it went right into the basement, so I'll watch that to see when it wants to get set up. We watch some other ones like that, and they do run MURA, Mural Oncology, big dip right there on their earnings, and SANW is that's the seed one, SANW. There you go, S&W Seed Company, and this had leveled down a little bit, and see if it wants to level down some more. So there you go with your laptop lowdowns, and that seed one's always a good one. It does get down there, and then it blasts off quite often, so keep an eye on that. And let's go ahead and look and see what else is going on. Doge Mama 9, how are you doing? And them AMC calls should look good, I'm telling you. I think these meme coins might kick off the market. They're getting set up, and it might not even cross through the MACD. Might have a little bit of time. You could see it setting up there, but you're going to get a better setup too. So that's what they look like at the moment. And obviously, it is summertime, right in the middle of August practically. So we'll be watching to see how it wants to do. Excuse me. And let's see what's going on here and what we can take out of the SPY and the big Mag 7 and the big capper. SPY is cruising right along there, looking pretty good, flattening it out as it hits the MACD. Let me see what it looks like over here real quick. And that is not looking bad right there, just kind of curling up. But like I said, I'm not so sure it gets through right there. That's a really crazy good look. And let it bounce around, especially for the next 2 weeks. Holy cow, this market's about to get ripping, guys. Wow. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. You know, I've been saying it, and here's Apple pulling back, but it had a massive run up right there. And Amazon, let's see what it's doing. It's trying to cruise back up, not looking bad. I thought Apple would keep that momentum, but maybe it will turn around as the market opens. We'll keep an eye on that. And let's see, our Google was trying to cruise up, and that one's just kind of flattened out there this morning. So I thought that would be moving along as well this morning. And Meta not looking bad. That is trying to curl back up. Might have a little bit of pullback. So we might have a little bit of a flat day. And again, the markets will move when you see some tweets or something like that, as they've been. But we're coming into the end of summer here, and you can just see them getting set up. So that is what the markets and the charts look like. Microsoft right here pulled back out of the top and just getting set up. You can see it cross down the MACD. It's got its 20 to 50. It even has some good support down there. So just see how far it wants to pull back. Don't mess with it yet. And the video right here is pulling back, hitting that resistance in the top. So that is what they look. That's what they look like. And Tesla is up $4 this morning, 421, and there you go. So Tesla jumping up, getting set up, and looking good there for the good old Tesla. And let's go ahead. We looked at AMC. It is up a little bit. It jumped up pretty good this morning. It was up at like 340 something. I know that, hitting some resistance. And there you go. That big old spike up, curl up, and we had talked about that. And GameStop, this one's going to get set up as well. It's up a little bit this morning. and that's getting set up, but this one's getting set up too. Chewy's looking pretty good right there, so keep your eye on that. And here is Unity right there, and that's not, I mean, it's pulling back. It's looking a little better this morning. It made a bunch of room on the chart, so we'll see how it wants to curl and see if it wants to get cruising there. Good old Netflix up a little bit, and that thing wants to go back up. It had that nice dip down from the 1300s to like the 11 down here, or whatever, 12, I forget, 1171 or 1144 actually, and now it's at 1213. So there you go for Netflix, and that one is going to be cruising along there. And let's take a look at our semiconductors, see what they're doing. AVGO hitting that resistance. Not sure it's going to go through it. MU looks pretty decent to cruise up a little bit more here. And TSM was pulling back some, and I don't think it's crossing through just yet. So let them get set up, guys. And like I said, I think we do have a week or so, maybe two, towards the end of the summer. And then the market's looking like it wants to get wild. SMCI, nice pullback right there. And AMD pulled back to the trend line and could pull back a little bit more there. And I know that they announced that they're giving 15% or something to the government. And I've never heard of such a thing. Chip makers NVIDIA and AMD to pay 15% of China revenue to U.S. government. So that's pretty wild. You want to talk about making deals. I don't think Biden was making a deal like that to make the country better. So AMD and NVIDIA will be paying 15%. I mean, that's like tariff in a company right there. That's pretty wild. And yeah, I guess they agreed to it, so it's going to happen. So there you are with AMD and NVIDIA. So pretty wild stuff, but I think they will still be posting huge profits. And when they're posting huge profits, they're making huge payments to the American country to be working here. So that will definitely benefit us. That's for sure. Here's QCOM right here, and this bad boy is getting set up. Keep an eye on QCOM right there. And how about snow? It had been coming down. It built some support down there finally. It looked like it wanted to come down some more, but it does look like it has some support now. So we'll keep an eye on snow and see when it's ready to go back up. PayPal's getting ready to curl back up as well. Not looking too bad. And how about your Intel right here? That's actually curling up. That bottomed out at that 19 area. And you're at 2032, and Intel's not looking too bad. And let's see what Dell is doing, because Dell is not looking bad right there. Let me take a better look at Dell right here, DELL, and yeah, that's curling up and not looking bad at all. So I'll have to see if it wants to cross through there this morning, see how they open up and really want to run there. And let's take a look and see what IBM has been up to. It's been dipping down there, but I do think that you're getting towards the bottom here, and they do have a dividend. I think that's today. Yeah, there you go. IBM's paying out their dividend. And let's see. So yeah, just let it set up there. And that'll be a good one down there at a good price. And Palantir right here is down a little bit. That could be pulling back just a hair, just to set back up. And Sophie looks like it's trying to get set up. But again, they all look like they have a couple weeks. Mara was looking pretty good this morning. Bitcoin was over 121. I was looking at it's right there at 121. And looking at the stock cube. So there you go. And actually, the stock cube guys, they had updated their software, and they have the gold and silver prices now and all kinds of good stuff, the date, the time on there. And yeah, it's like all the metals are on there. So I have that at the top. So now I see what all the metals are doing. So I'll tell you what, this thing keeps me updated. Platinum right there. Palladium right there. Platinum's at 1307. Palladium's at 1121. So not only do I have my Ripple at 325, I get to see the metals too. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I do love it. So there is my stock cube, and I was looking at that, and I always look at that. And Riot right here kind of pulling back. I mean, it's up this morning, but at the same time, it's making room on the chart. And again, it has to wait for that 20, but Bitcoin And crypto is cruising, and these things tend to look good when that happens. And CleanSpark looking a little bit better. Down at the support, just waiting for the 20 to pop it up there. MicroStrategy looking pretty good right here and wants to get cruising. It's just setting up. I'm telling you, crypto's getting ready to rock and roll, guys. So it's already up and running, but it's about to run even higher. And here's Robinhood. And that bad boy looks like it wants to try to get into the top. I'd have to look at that today as it gets cruising. I mean, it has that look like it's getting hit and stopping, but it could. I'll look at Robinhood. It doesn't tell you just at the moment. And how about Coinbase right here? And this one's going to be a great opportunity. It's curling up. It did jump up a little bit this morning. And it is, like I said, get in between that 50 and then it's going to run up. So Coinbase will be good. And Bull is trying to get bullish. So they're all looking pretty good right there. Good old Space is pulling back. It's below the trend line. Just let it pull back a little bit. And Boeing, let's see, is setting up, and Boeing generally is setting up. I don't think it's curling through yet, but it's going to stay there and get set up to run up. It'll have some pop-ups and then bounce back down. DJT looks like it's trying to get set up right there. And Fun will get set up. They had red earnings, it looks like, and their earnings had been recently last Friday, and it did dip down. So we'll watch for Fun to get set back up. And how about McDonald's right here? Let's see what MCD is doing this morning. And it is up a little bit after a little pullback. It is trying to get set up. It's nothing crazy right there, but it's not looking too bad at that area 306. So there's McDonald's, and Disney had been pulling back and trying to run up a little bit. And again, it's just curling up. I don't think it's exactly ready. It's making room on the chart, and it will get ready. And how about that Oxy right here? I'm telling you guys, this oil and gas is getting ready to rock and roll. I'm not sure what's going on, but I can just tell you something's happening there. Gus should be up a little bit, curling up right there. And let's look at ExxonMobil, and that one is up as well, getting set up. And what's this one doing this morning? Or if I could type it in, we'll look at it. It's up a little bit, and I'm telling you, this one's making that crazy curl up as well. And there's definitely something going on with oil and gas. TMDE was looking pretty good last week too, as it was curling up hard, hitting the MACD. So let me see how that looks this morning. Let's see what this one's doing. SXC, that one's just kind of flat, but that's getting set up, and that's in that coking coal sector. What AREB, or no, what is the other one? I forgot what it is. AREC. There you go. That's it. AREC. And this one jumped up a little bit. It was up the other day, and there you go. So there you go with the coking coal AREC. BMNR, this thing's looking pretty good this morning, huh? And there you are, up 5%, $5, 11% right there. Had that one. And VKTX, the good old Viking, is up this morning. So there's another one. UNH is getting set up, guys. So keep an eye on that. And BKKT, not looking too bad right there, I must say. So keep your eyes on these guys. And Intensity right here wants to get intense. And we'll keep an eye on that one too. So there you go with a few of them guys. And let's see, what is PM doing this morning? That's still running up there. Philip Morris, ORIS, just that was a little more pullback right there. It's staying in the basement, I guess, huh? And we'll see how much pullback that has, ORIS. And let's see what that RAYA is doing. That one's getting set up, guys, hitting the MACD and should try to run this week, it looks like. And how about, what else did we look at? I know Pew was setting up. Let's see if it's trying to get rolling here. And that's looks like it's trying to bottom out. So we'll keep an eye on that one right there. Good old PEW. So a couple good ones. And SoundHound is pulling back to the trend line, but getting set up to run some more. And here we go. And let's see what else we're looking at. LAES, let's look at that one real quick. Doge Mama 9. LAES, that one just getting set up right there. That looks like it tried to bottom out and trying to curl up right now. Let's take a better look at it. And this is at Seals Q or whatever. Yeah, Seals Q Corp right there. And it is not looking bad. Doge Mama 9, I'd say that's in a better spot right there, trying to curl off that bottom. And you're way down here. So I would say that's in way better shape for LAQS. Let me jot that one down so I can take a look at that today. LAES. And actually, here it'll go right through. Here's our computer hardware ones, RGTI. Don't they have earnings coming up right now? August 12th right there. So RGTI will be tomorrow. QUBT, let's see what that's doing right here. And that one, that quantum computing, that's just getting set up, guys. So that these guys have a little bit of time to get set up a little better. D-Wave right here is getting set up. So these computer hardware and quantum ones are going to get rolling, that's for sure. And QBTS, that's what we're looking at. D-Wave right there. QMCO, we haven't looked at it in a little bit, and it's at 784. And let's see what it wants to do here. That looked like it bottomed out, and that thing looks like it wants to get cruising relatively soon. So let's keep an eye on QMCO. And again, that thing has a lot of room. Look at it way down there and could really get cruising there. That's QMCO. And let's see what else is going on with our semiconductor or quantum and computer hardware ones. QTUM is the Defiance Quantum ETF right here. And it's just kind of flat getting set up. So that kind of tells you that they all want to get set up. And IONQ is down a little bit and not looking bad to get set up. And how about that good old Z Space right here, ZSPC? They have earnings coming up. It had been dipping down. All earnings on the 14th, which that's Thursday. And yeah, look at this thing. That thing looks like it really wants to get rolling. I know we were looking at it the other day and it ran up, pulled back here. Now it looks pretty good again for Z Space. So there you go with that one. And let's see what is CRWV doing. Good old CoreWeave. And that's up this morning looking pretty good. And how about Core Scientific just kind of jumping around down a little bit. LAC right there, Lithium Americas Corp is jumping up, and that's looking pretty good on that big old curl up right there. So that is LAC, and there you go with that one. And how about Canan or something like that? That's not looking bad. It's hitting a little resistance at the moment, as you can see, getting set up. They have earnings, so I'd play around them. They are August 14th, but it is getting set up just like the rest of the market. And like I said, you look like you have about 2 weeks, right, until the end of the summer. As I mentioned before, and then the market is going to get ripping, guys. So and then here you go. The fee gives them access, Doug. It's like a franchise fee. I know it sounds crazy. What were we even talking about? I forget what fee we were even talking about there, Luis Rodriguez, to be completely honest with you. But it's all good. And ETHU, that one is looking good as Ethereum is ripping right here. So there you go with that. And there you are. It's ripping into the top. Be careful, though. But we were talking about that one. Wang and Lee this morning was up like 50%. Laptop Travel gave that one out. It's up 67%. We were looking at the other day before it started to run up. It looked good again for Wang and Lee. And that was in the 4 a.m. Warrior trading right there in ALTS right here. Alt 5 Sigma Corp, and that ran up pretty well. Look at that big spike up from 8 to 20. Wow, that was a big run up right there. And IOBT, I don't even know what I'm typing in, but IOBT right here. And that did run up, and keep an eye on that. That looks like it could keep its momentum right there. So there you go at IOBT, IO Biotech. So there you are with that one. And they look pretty good. That Viking had been running up still. VKTX looking pretty good right there, I must say. And into the top. Could continue its way up. 110% on ALTS. IOBT has clinical trials at 8:30 a.m. and looks pretty good. And GFS looks to be in an interesting spot. Filtrate. Well, let's look at it right here for GFS, and that is a semiconductor one, Global Foundries, and that is in an interesting spot Never saw that one before, and not familiar with it anyway. And I will jot that one down, Filtrate, because that one looks pretty good. GFS, so I want to keep an eye on that. It is getting set up and looking good, and should start to curl up and run. And there you go with them. And let me see if I got everything over here. Let me just take a quick look and make sure we did. I think we did over there. That's everything on that side. Let me just run through and look at crypto, because crypto, like I said, is ripping right now. And there you go. I mean, it looks a little red right there, but it was up over 121 for Bitcoin. So it was cruising right along, as you can see. And there you are, curled through a little bit of healthy pullback at the moment, but these things are ripping up there. Ethereum, I mean, just pulling back. They were up just before we got on, so I guess we're having a little bit of pullback. Solana, same thing. Nothing crazy, stair stepping their way up and want to get cruising. And there's Ripple right there, and that thing wants to get really moving. So keep your eye on Ripple. Might have to grab some more. And Doge just pulling back a little bit right there, but we'll get set up. How about your Cardano right here? A little bit of pullback, nothing crazy. And Stellar, that one will be a stellar one as well, XLM. So there you go with that. And I know the ETF was at like 1.2 this morning or something. So we'll see if that's trying to make that bottom again and get cruising up. I know when it hit down real low last time, it went nutty, and it is at 1.2. So I think maybe another couple weeks, that thing could get wild. We'll see if that's trying to bottom out right here and then get cruising back up. NVIDIA and AMD, the 15% is crazy. I never heard of such a thing right there. But the NVIDIA is pulling back at the moment. And AMD, holy cow, there we are. And that's pulling back. So I'm sure that didn't help. They didn't like that. They got to give out 15% of their profits to the country. So it's pretty wild. Never heard of such a thing. That's called some serious negotiations there by Trump. I've never heard of such a thing in my life. So, hey, they agreed to it, I guess, and we're gonna be getting a whole lot of money from them. You're welcome, Doge Mama 9, no problem there. Let's see what our news stories are. NVIDIA and AMD agree to unusual revenue deal. Ooh, I was just saying that, right? I didn't even look at that, but I've never heard such a thing in my life. It is bizarre and bonkers. U.S. futures bonds rise ahead of data-filled week, so we have to see what's going on this week. And waiting on CPI, China and Alaska. .com parallel leads to fear of what's next for this record-busting stock market. And we're just getting started, guys. And that's what it looks like to me. NVIDIA, AMD stocks fall, and Dow futures inch higher. And of course they're going to fall. I mean, they're giving 15% of their revenue to our country. It's pretty wild. I mean, it's definitely an unusual revenue deal. I'm not going to lie about that. That's one good way to word it, Yahoo. So there you go. That is bizarre. I'm not going to lie. And NVIDIA and AMD just have to raise the price quoted to China. Yeah, they're passing that 15% along somewhere. They're not going to eat it, that's for sure, and they're not going to be able to put it in the U.S., so it's definitely getting put into other countries. That's immediately what I was thinking too, Laptop Travel, because no one's just going to give up 15% and not raise the prices somewhere, and then you're not going to raise them here because Trump will slaughter you, so you're you're definitely raising them for China. So looks like they're all paying 15% more. That's going to be wild. SBET right here running up, and we were looking at that one, Cruise. So there you go with that. And let's see what's going on in the market over here real quick, and then we'll take a look and see if anything else grabs our attention over here. Let me see what's happening. Let's see, our Wang and Lee GIBO. That one's starting to curl back up, looking pretty good. Mentioned it on the night note. IOBT and AUD we were talking about. ORIS did pull back. We'll see if it gets set back up. There's that Tilray. I'd given that one out, and that's running back up right there. BMNR looking pretty good. Raya right here getting set up and trying to curl up a little bit. How about Foxo? We've been watching. It's in the basement, but it looks like it could get set up this week. Canopy Growth running up right there. And TNFA is trying to get set up. That's not looking bad right there. Let's take a look at it. And that one, it's not looking bad. I'll look at TNFA today and see what that wants to do. And let's see what this side is up to. ALTS ran up pretty big right there. That all five. AUD and Wang and Lee. MAPS was running up there. GMHS was at Gamehouse. And what is TZUP? I've never even seen that one before, but that took a nice dip down, and that one's not doing too much at the moment. So that's what the market looks like. And let's see. Oh, it's like a franchise fee. I got you. That's what you're talking about. AMD and NVIDIA, that 15%, that is like a franchise fee. That's pretty wild right there. And you know they're passing that franchise fee right along to somebody else. That's for damn sure. They're not eating 15%. There's no way. That's a lot of money right there. So, you know, their prices are going up. It just forced them to raise their prices and pass along the 15% franchise fee to America right there. That's pretty wild stuff. And anyway, let's see if there's anything that grabs our attention. And that ALTS is that alt whatever. And AI right here is C3 AI. Look at that big dip down $7 there this morning. How about Rumble right here? That one looks like it might be cruising along. So let's take a look at Rumble. RUM. And Rumble looks pretty decent. And they had earnings today. And I don't even know what the hell happened, but it jumped up there. So not sure exactly there. And what is ZIM? I'm not even familiar with ZIM right here. And that's Zim Integrated Shipping Services. And that's running up at the moment. And let's see if there's anything else going on. And Clean Sparks up a little bit. Bitcoin is cruising along. And that's what it looks like at the moment. And like I said, Canopy Growth is running up there. CGC. And there you are. So they had earnings. And August 8th, they actually look good. I just did my High on Wall Street video about their earnings, and they did do better than expected, as a matter of fact, and it's running up and looking pretty good. So there you go with Canopy Growth, and so there you go. I would say that's a pretty good pre-market review right there. Crypto looking like it's setting up, the market looking like it's setting up, guys. It looks like we have a week or two with a couple runners in between. And let's look at Nintendo. Jason Goshman, I don't know what it looks like, but is that a OTC? I'm not sure. Let me look. NTDOF. Nintendo is an OTCer. And let's see, Nintendo not looking bad. Didn't even realize that Nintendo was on here, but it does look pretty good to run up a little bit more. It's at what, $97, and it's an OTC. So interesting for sure. That definitely happens. Netflix is looking good. AVGO not bad. Google just kind of hanging out. MU not bad right there. ZBH ran up. That one's oh, right here. What's that? Reality Income Corporation. Not looking too bad. And APA. So a couple other ones you could take a look at. And that one, TAP. That's Molson. And Guild Sciences not looking bad right there. And there's BDX. So that one's curling up. And there you go, guys. I'd say that's a pretty good pre-market review on a Monday morning in August. So August 11th, and I don't think we have anything else to look at right there. So I'll keep you guys posted, and we'll see what's going on. Oh, I did want to look at this. What the heck was happening this week? It did say something. Nothing today. CPI tomorrow. So that's what we have, and that's why it could be a little flatter today. And if that runs hot, runs well, this market, so I'm telling you, it's setting up. Oh, here you go. Here's your EIA crude oil inventories and stuff like that on Wednesday, and MBA mortgage applications, and your PPI is on Thursday. So there we are. You have your CPI tomorrow, PPI Thursday, real retail sales and all that good stuff, import and all them. So it is a pretty big busy week right there for the economic calendar. So we will be keeping an eye on that stuff. So there you go, everybody. Greatly appreciate you hanging out this morning, tuning in, and we'll be keeping an eye on the market. Like I said, it's just setting up, crypto getting crazy, and everything looking like it wants to get wild. So be prepared, because it's rolling down to the end of summer. So enjoy the rest of your summer. And the markets look like they're going to get fired up, and we're going to be having a good old time here. So be paying attention. Be sure to be on that Discord. Laptop Travel is ripping it up at 4 a.m. We've been killing it in there. So there you go, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm glad you hung out. Be sure to follow along on YouTube and X and all that good stuff, and I'll keep you guys posted. Any questions, be sure to DM me on X, and I will respond. So there you go, and be sure to lock in your profits and trade smart. And goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody. Have a good day, Filtrate and everybody else, and I'll see you guys.